Horsepower, a number that us gearheads love to talk about when it comes to our cars. 30 years ago, these BMW E36s had sufficient horsepower, but in the modern age, they really don't stand up to the test compared to modern cars. Unfortunately for us E36 owners, if you go to add horsepower, you'll find that it's really expensive and not cost effective. You either have to boost it or rebuild the engine with entirely new parts. However, there is one mod that is a cost-effective horsepower mod. Those of you who know these cars, that would be the M50 manifold conversion, which conveniently our friend Ben's car behind us has installed on it. So today, we are going to take this M3 out for a drive, talk about the cost of the M50 manifold conversion, the benefits and the drawbacks, and then I'm going to give you my opinion as to whether or not you should do it in your car and whether or not I'm going to do it to my M3. Right, so the M50 manifold, commonly known as the best dollar to horsepower mod for the BMW E36. This is our friend Ben with us, who you all know on the channel. This is his car. We drove it last year, and you've done some things to this car.
Quite a few things have been changed since then. Suspension, some engine work, but most notably in this video today, we're talking about the M50 manifold. So I've had that on for probably like 9 months now.
So it's been M50 manifold swap for 9 months. We just drove another one that was track modified that had the M50 manifold and an RK tune for it. This one does not have a tune. So we'll be able to kind of get the comparison between how it feels with the tune, how it feels without a tune, and of course the non-M50 manifold car, which is what mine currently is. So, all right, let's go ahead and start her up, hop on the road. Right, the M50 manifold. So, an overview of what the M50 manifold is. The M50 intake manifold is the intake manifold that came on the OBD1 BMW E36, so 92 through 95, the M50 engine, hence the name M50 manifold. On the later E36s, the OBD2 cars, so 323, 328, later M3s in the United States, we got the M52 intake manifold, which has much thinner intake runners. Now you might wonder, why would BMW put thinner intake runners on the motor? At first it kind of does seem really counterintuitive, but they were essentially trading air volume for air velocity, which in practice got you better low-end and mid-range torque and theoretically better fuel economy at the expense of top-end horsepower. So it made sense to do at the time. The biggest, I would say, indicator of that, if you look at the 95 M3 in the United States, which was a 3-liter, got about 26 on the freeway, whereas the 3.2 liter that came in these were rated at 28. Being a bigger engine should theoretically get worse fuel economy, but it got better because of, well, probably a mixture of OBD2, but also that intake manifold. So, okay, that's why BMW did that. Now, what you can do is take the intake manifold with the thicker runners, the M50 manifold, and throw it on your later E36 to gain horsepower, which seems like a great idea in theory. And I will say, thus far, I've been riding around with Ben, it does seem like a very fun mod. And I've driven other cars, the M50 manifold, before. It always just makes these a lot more top-end happy. Before we get into any of that, though, let's talk about the cost of swapping M50 manifold in. For starters, the M50 manifolds now, because everybody, I mean, the word's kind of out about this mod, being it's like the only good horsepower mod you can do to one of these naturally aspirated. Buying an intake manifold's probably going to be, I don't know, 150, 200 bucks.
They've gone up.
Yeah, they've gone up. What did you pay for yours?
I got mine for 200, but it was in kind of rough shape and had some stripped out screws on it.
Right, I bought mine for 140, but that was like 5 years ago. And that was like on the start of them going up in price. The kits that are available range from like 150 bucks up to like 500 depending on which one you buy. Although you did not do a kit, Ben. What did you do?
So I took a Dremel tool to my M50 manifold and cut the whole bottom out of it and grafted in a 3D printed piece of plastic, glued it on so that it is a direct OBD2 bolt-on. I have no check engine light codes or issues with emissions or PCV system. All that just bolts up and works.
Because you did that, essentially you didn't have to buy a kit, correct?
I did buy a kit initially, but I didn't like the way it turned out. The one that I bought moved the whole air oil separator thing down. Didn't really fit. It interfered with a bunch of stuff. I had to bend some coolant lines. It seems like a good idea, and it was technically a bolt-on because it created the space for the OBD2 manifold plate to
Right.
bolt up to.
Yep.
But because of the way that it hooks on, it moves everything down like almost 2 inches.
So you do it that way, or if you buy a kit, whatever, call it a couple $100. So you're in it like $500 or less for the swap. And then if you do a tune, depending on the tuner you go with, I personally on my M3 have an RK tune. That's like $350 for an NA tune. So really for under $1,000, you can gain what a lot of dynos show is generally about a 20 horsepower gain, which honestly, not bad. 20 horsepower for an NA motor like this, that's not a V8. For under $1,000 one of these is pretty good. Because outside of that, there is no other modifications you can do to these horsepower wise for that kind of money to get that kind of horsepower increase. So now we'll talk about some benefits of the M50 manifold. Why would you want to do it? So the horsepower increase is sort of the biggest, I'll call it the on paper reason why you would do it. But I think generally speaking, the largest benefit is the car just seems happier at higher RPMs. I'll do a little demonstration. It pulls way harder to redline, and it doesn't die off over 6,000 RPM like the stock intake manifold does. It makes the car just kind of enthusiastic almost, whereas the stock intake manifold on the OBD2 cars really doesn't have that. Case in point, M50 manifold makes your OBD2 E36 really rev heavy, like the OBD1 cars. I mean, that's the way they originally came from the factory, really rev happy and just eager to kind of go, go, go. And the M50 manifold, I think, brings that life back into the motor, which you lose out on with the M52 manifold. I mean, on my M3, I would say generally in the mid-range, it probably pulls similarly to this, but especially over 5,500, 6,000, it just falls flat on its face and it just has no more go. This eliminates that issue. And even when you're just sitting at higher RPMs, the motor just seems less stressed, less strained. You get better, I'll call it throttle modulation at higher RPM. And the science behind that, we kind of talked about at the start of the video, but volumetric efficiency. I'm not an engineer, so I'm not really going to explain what that is, but basically the M50 manifold better utilizes the air that's being delivered to the engine at higher RPMs, whereas the M52 manifold utilizes the same air better at lower RPMs and is less efficient up top, which is why that's the case.
The term you're looking for is Bernoulli's.
Bernoulli's, what does that mean?
Basically, the faster the air goes, the lower the pressure becomes.
See, he's an engineer, so he can explain how it works. Another great benefit of the M50 manifold is the sound. The M50 manifold just kind of gives this like a nice scream at the higher RPMs that the stock intake manifold just doesn't. Again, I think partly as a result for, you know, the car's just like gasping for air. It's just like, just can't take in enough at the higher RPMs to sustain the, I'll call it the pull. Blocked by a Traverse that's blowing white smoke out of its exhaust. That is the most Detroit thing ever.
Good brakes.
Good brakes. So that's where the M50 manifold shines, the top end. It loves to rev. Makes it feel more peaky, like how you'd expect an M3 to be. There is a little bit of a torque loss with the M50 manifold, which people don't, it's hard to quantify, it's theoretical, because I think wide open throttle, the torque loss isn't really that apparent on this. I will say though, compared to my M3 with the RK tune on the stock manifold, and this being untuned for the M50, I think there is a bit of a torque loss below 4,000. On my car, I think it's just a little bit crisper in 5th gear on like that sort of, you know, creeping up to 3 grand and like that sort of mid-range pull. Generally speaking, I will say, I think in the lower RPM, around town at lower RPM, I think you have to give the M50 just a little more pedal input from the accelerator to kind of get up to speed more. I think somewhere around 4,000 RPM is when it starts to level out and they become kind of the same. That and also the kind of initial throttle response, I think with the M52 manifold at lower RPM is a little better. So when you're kind of doing like your 3-2 downshift in traffic, I think that's a little easier with the M52 manifold. It might be entirely a preference thing for me. It's just something I noticed that I wanted to convey to all of you. We'll go from 65. Up until that point, I think it's just slightly behind. Now that's a very specific test that's not overly, I don't know, I would say isn't really a situation you're going to encounter in most of your driving, but it is something to note, and I think the tune gets rid of that. I would say over half of your horsepower definitely comes from just manifold, but maybe that last like 25-30% comes from the tune. But then the tune also just kind of helps the drivability a lot. Traction control. So, final thoughts. Am I going to do this to my M3 now? Well, the answer is yes, eventually. Among the other list of things I'm going to do to that car. I've had an M50 manifold sitting in a box for about 5 years, and we'll talk about it again when we do it then, but otherwise, with all of that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video and our kind of overview of the M50 manifold. Ben, any final thoughts?
I would say if you're considering and on the fence about the M50 manifold, just do it. It's kind of a fun project, and it's a little bit difficult because you have to pull some of the cowling off, but yeah, I think it definitely improves the performance of the car and makes it more fun.
Go do it. Okay, like the video, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Any questions, ask us in the comments, we'll answer. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.